Hey, you're back. We're at week 4 in this lead trumpet course, and we're finishing up the swing style. And this was a big chunk of the course. What you're going to notice now is that, like week 3, you found out that we're in real life music. You know, music that you can really encounter in a big band rehearsal. But what you're going to find out now is that I've allowed the ceiling of the range to lift up a little bit. So the charts that you're going to encounter in week 4 will mostly have some notes above the staff. I mean, and into the upper register, maybe just touching into the upper register. B flats, high C's, D's, and E flats. So this should challenge you a little bit more, and still keeping with our same theme of learning the swing style. So have fun with this last week of swing, and I would encourage you to go back and make sure that you can do all the other charts and stuff that you've done up till now. That includes going all the way back and maybe reviewing week 1 with a jazz articulation and those 8 or 9 rules that we have. So have fun with week 4 and our last week of swing style, and I'll catch you in week 5. Autumn leaves, and we're starting one measure before letter B. Oh, 1, 2, 3, 4. Autumn leaves. I love this one. It really, in my opinion, features the bones, but the trumpets are showcased too. And you'll find that playing lead on this one, if you actually do it in a real band situation, you really feel like you're sticking out quite a bit on this one, and you are. So this is a great one for that. You can sight read along with me. I also will include the actual recording of me playing lead on this chart with my band in the studio. And here you want to lay back. So this is one we're definitely trying to, you know, be a little bit lazy and lay back behind the beat. And so you'll probably hear me do that. Let's see here. Make sure you're strong and powerful when you go up to that high C, which would be, let's see, you're starting at letter B. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, somewhere around the 4th or 5th measure after letter B. That's all one thing. Ba ba da da ba da 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 da. You don't want to be taking a lot of breaths in there. We want this to come out real powerfully. So if you can practice it all in one breath. 1, 2. I'm not doing the whole thing. I'm just doing that part that goes up to the high C. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. See how nice that sounds? Now listen to how a lot of players would play it, and it sounds not as good. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. Chances are, 9 times out of 10, if you hear a band play this one, they're going to play it the second way. It doesn't sound as good, right? So take a huge gulping breath and play it all in one breath and power it out. And it's really going to come off sizzling and sounding great to the people in the audience. Autumn leaves. Hey, welcome to the 2017 Back to School promo that I've been doing over this past weekend. And I'm recording this and putting this together late Saturday night, and I probably won't get done till the wee hours of Sunday morning on the, is it going to be the 21st or the 20th? It's going to be the 20th of August, 2017. And just about every promo, I include my lead trumpet course, 8-week introduction to lead trumpet stylings. And earlier this year, I approached a random group of people that have already invested and bought some of my courses, most of which is the big 16-week brass upper register program. But a couple other people that had gotten into the Clark course and the breast support. And I asked them some questions, and I asked them why they didn't consider the 8-week lead trumpet course. And to me, I had the feeling that many of these players were more classical as opposed to commercial. And the feedback that I got was that they just didn't have a sense of what was going to go on the course, what was going to go on and what was going to happen and how they were going to actually learn. And it seemed a little bit foggy, a little bit murky. So, well, on my website, and on the page that's dedicated for the lead trumpet course, thought it made it pretty crystal clear, what goes on, how you get better, what you're going to get out of it, why you would even want to do it. But I guess that wasn't good enough. So in this particular promo, I'm going to try to just clear it up just a little bit. And I'm going to even include the introduction to week 4. So it's just like you're a little fly on the wall. And you can kind of observe what would be happening if you were going through the course and all of a sudden you were hitting week 4. There's 8 weeks. So week 4 is kind of a mid-stride through the course. And I'm also going to include one song that we go over in that particular course. What people don't realize in this particular course, we are going over real live charts that you will encounter. I just guarantee you will encounter some of these are etudes at the beginning of the course, but once we get into week 3 and beyond, we're really working on real charts. And then I demonstrate that, and then I even put recordings of me with prior bands that I have been in. So anyway, this is my little preamble before you get to be a little fly on the wall and pretend like you're a student in the course and watch a little bit of the intro of week 4, how it starts off. And then we're going to skip over to, now there's many songs that we go through in week 4, but we're going to, of course, I can't give out the whole thing. You got to get the course, but I'm going to show you one, which is a favorite of mine. It's Autumn Leaves. It's the big band version, so don't think Chet Baker or Miles Davis or, it's the big band version of it, mainly featuring the trombones. But the way this lead trumpet course works is we pull out a real life chart and then we take a section and we treat it almost like an etude. So we're really trying to work the rhythms, the style, and the articulation and master that. So if you treat it like almost like an etude, you're mastering a skill. If you do it over and over and over again, it's going to seem like an old hat. So you'll see that. You'll see me introduce it. You'll look at the real live sheet music. I'll give you some pointers. And then what you don't see is what happens in week 1 and week 2. Now, week 1 and week 2, we go over the nuts and bolts and learn how to articulate the jazz rhythms. Think that's easy? Well, here, let me give you an example. If I stepped into a symphony, which I hardly ever do because I'm just not that kind of a player, I don't really get into it, but I have played orchestral and symphonic music, just not my cup of tea. But if I saw on the sheet of music in front of me, triplets, quarter note, and it went something like this, ta-ta-ta-tom, ta-ta-ta-tom. Well, even though I might not be a seasoned principal trumpet in an orchestra, if I play what's written and I have a little idea of the piece and where it's coming from, I still might go ahead and play it, ta-ta-ta-tom, ta-ta-ta-tom. Well, here's the thing. In jazz and commercial music, things ain't what they always seem, if that makes any sense. So it might always seem like you'll see the triplet in the quarter note, but in jazz it might be something like this, ba-da-da-doop, ba-da-da-dop, right? Or ta-da-da-tat, ta-da-da-tat. So these are things that they don't teach you in music performance school. Getting your master's or getting your doctorate of music arts, they don't teach you that. And so it's something that you have to learn, and then a lot of it's acquired through experience. That's the saving grace of my 8-week introduction to lead trumpet styling. We're going to go through all that at the beginning. So you have to have that in your noggin at the beginning. And then once we start hitting the real live charts, which actually happens in week 3 and beyond, you'll already have the info to apply to these charts. And then we treat these charts like etudes, where you're going to master the rhythms and the articulation and style, like I already said. You start to work on enough of these and master enough of these, and we're not trying to master the whole chart, we're mastering a section. You start to understand and get a really good feel of what you need to do as far as lead trumpet. Finally, at the end of this little 2017 back-to-school promo, I'm going to include an example of power lead playing by myself. It's just going to be unaccompanied, just me doing something that is not going to be in the course. So when I did my poll, a couple of the responses that came back was that they thought it would be too hard, too high, and too crazy for them, and they weren't interested in that. So I'm going to include probably one of the toughest lead charts that you could ever encounter. But the thing is, you're not going to encounter that type of lead chart in this 8-week introductory lead trumpet course. No, sir, and no, ma'am. So I'm putting that in there to show you what you're not going to encounter, so you're not scared to get involved with this awesome course. I do have a course that's shorter. It's 6 weeks and it's live. I don't have it pre-recorded on the video. And we go over the high-powered, very, very tough Buddy Rich, Louis Bellson, Rob McConnell, Maynard Ferguson, Big Fat Band, Gordon Goodwin, and others. We go over that stuff, but I don't have that pre-recorded in the video. So this particular pre-recorded course, we actually go over reasonable charts, and many of them, especially at the beginning, only go up to G's and A's right above the staff, you know. High G just sitting on the staff, high A just a little bit above that. These are all below high C. So you don't need to be scared that this course is just going to be fanatically, you know, crazy high and Maynard Ferguson or Buddy Rich like. It is not. I purposely have made this course to be doable by most people with a normal range, and I consider a normal range up to high C or high D, which is just a little bit into upper register. The other thing, unlike some of my other courses, this is a self-contained course. In other words, if you don't want any coaching from me live, and you don't need any lessons from me live, you can do this course from beginning to end by yourself with the videos. I've really painstakingly gone through everything with a fine-tooth comb so that you can go at your own pace. And I'm your teacher in the video, but you don't necessarily need review lessons outside of the scope of the video, or the videos. So anyway, I'm taking the time to say all this because based on a poll, as I alluded to at the beginning, people have their own insecurities about getting involved, especially people who've never really, when I say people, I mean players that have never really been exposed or really had much to do with commercial music. And don't be fooled. Just because we're talking about some swing charts like autumn leaves in this particular course, yes, there is a big focus on swing in this course, but we also get into funk, rock, reggae, salsa, blues, Latin, bossa nova, and they're different styles. In case I didn't mention it, rock, think Blood, Sweat, and Tears. I'm trying to think of some of the other ones. I'm just rambling here. But anyway, I don't want you to be scared. So I guess the theme is people are a little bit intimidated, insecure, scared to get in to this course, or they're just not sure what's going to go on. So this course is an awesome course. I really want more people to get involved. You don't need to be intimidated. The price is just right. It's self-contained. You can do it all on your own. And there's no time agenda. Although I have it for 8 weeks, you could take the whole year to mess around with it. You're working on pieces and you're mastering them. So anyway, I'm Kurt Thompson, and I hope that you take a second look at my 8-week lead trumpet course. And come on, if you're a player who loves music and you've been mainly doing classical in your community concert band, or let's just say that you're a high-powered professional principal trumpet of the New York Philharmonic, Metropolitan, Los Angeles, Chicago. Well, it just may be that if you're retired, you may want to get involved in some other kinds of music. Dixieland and jazz and rock, and you might just want to have a lot of fun with your life and your music. And this course will allow you to do that and actually sound like you know what you're doing. So I'm going to make something pretty attractive as far as an offer for this course. I want people to get involved because I want more reviews on this course. It is an awesome course, and I don't want people to be scared or intimidated to get into this course. It's actually one of my most funnest courses. This is probably the most fun course. It really is fun because we're working on music basically the whole time, compared to the upper register course where we're working on a lot of abstract, potent, difficult techniques that you've never heard of. Here in this course, the 8-week lead trumpet course, it's fun. It really is fun. And then you get to hear the real live recorded versions of some of the things that we're working on. It's actually pretty fun. So please take another look at this lead trumpet course. Don't be intimidated. I'm positive you can do it and get something out of it. I'm Kurt Thompson. I'll see you in the next one.